Hi, it's Vampy from Vampy and LJ. So the other day we were trying to play an adventure map for you guys since we've been a little slow on updating some of the other ones. We might be doing a restart on a few, like the Skyblock and maybe Survival Island. That one we did a little better on. Anyway, we started with one that we thought might be a troll map as we played it, but it didn't work. We tried to get it to work. We cheated, we went into creative mode, dug around a little bit, and we found that it was a command block that we were having a problem with. I think it had something to do with my server. I think I had too many plugins, or just plugins in general. I think it needs to be vanilla Minecraft. But at the time we didn't know this, so we just quit that one, which, now that I know what the problem was, we might redo it. But we quit that one and started playing another one called Paranoia, and we got a lot further in this one. But we reached a point where command blocks were, again, a problem. So we decided to stop and switch to another version, the second part, rather, in hopes that it was just a mistake, an update problem, or whatever, not realizing that it was just my server that was the problem. So we probably won't be recording the first part of Paranoia, but if we do, you might not hear this. Anyway, what I'm going to do for you now is cinematically play our failure in the background while I read the walkthrough for Paranoia for you. Paranoia was made by SMP Mike 23, and here we go. As you begin another day, you wake up from another restless night. You fear the strange things that have been taking place on this ship. From the chest beside your bed, you take some supplies and begin to explore, hoping for something out of the ordinary to catch you off guard. You exit your room and see the Hawthorne family's room. Nothing of interest in there. You pass by the other rooms and head for the main hallway. The armory is where you start your day every day, suiting up with the latest gear for no apparent reason at all. But it's required for all the residents to protect themselves here on this ship. Leather armor is the standard issue, so you press the buttons and stock up on your inventory. As you exit the armory, you head for the cafeteria. After you fill up on your favorite foods, you talk to your good friend Jack at the special requests booth. It looks like he is short on cash, so you agree to help him out in return for a flint and steel item. After leaving the cafeteria, you head straight and decide to pay the Bordeaux family a visit. Where is everybody, you think to yourself? Perhaps you should snoop around and see what items they've left behind. You rather like taking things that don't belong to you. Maybe the other families have items of great value. Better check their rooms as well. Once you get your thrill from gathering free merchandise, you head downstairs for a better view. How you wish you could get off this ship. But nobody is allowed to leave, and the only way out of it is through the transportation room. I gotta find a way in there. You notice that the captain's room is off limits, and only permitted to those with a level 5 access. As you take a look at the power source in the middle of the room, you wonder if it could be the cause for all the strange paranormal activity that's going on. Next to the power source, underneath the stairs, you find a hidden switch. I wonder what this could be. Looks like you stumbled upon someone's secret stash. You pick up the 3 emeralds and decide to give it to your friend Jack for the flint and steel item. As you head back to your room, you take a look around the Milton family's room. Hey, this is interesting. There's a secret door behind the painting. As you flip the hidden lever, you hear an unusual sound. Oh, it looks like a hidden passage to the room next door. As you enter the room, you are darted with an arrow out of nowhere. Oh man, am I going crazy? Or did a skeleton just shoot me with an arrow? Die, you evil being! As if it couldn't get any weirder, you continue to search the room. Well, it looks like you're not the only one experiencing unusual things around the ship. The Blackett and Milton families seem to have teamed up to devise a plan to get off the ship. Maybe I should join them, you think to yourself, as you grab the fire charges from the chest. You continue to your room and decide to break open your wooden safe. What? Hit the deck! It's an exploding monster! Wow, that was a close one. You feel the urgency to find a way off the ship and find out where these strange beings are originating from. Escaping the ship. You realize that all this snooping around and looting has gained you enough experience to break into the captain's room. After gaining access to the captain's quarters, you realize that there is an exit above the bed. You climb the ladder and begin walking on the ledge of the ship. You know the transportation room is on the other side, so you decide to risk it and walk along the outer edge of the ship. When you reach the other side, you breathe a sigh of relief as you have finally found a way out. The only thing left now is to activate the transportation device and get out of there. As you exit the transporter room, you find a destroyed town and realize your brother lived here and is now dead and gone. You wonder who is behind all this, and you believe it may have something to do with the paranormal activity or a corrupted town leader. You begin to search the other houses, but find no evidence of the truth. As you approach the mayor's house, you see that there is not much of it left. You suspect the mayor is in charge of the Eye in the Sky project, which is the ship you were living on. If anyone would know the truth behind the strange things going on, it would be him. As you enter his house, looking for clues, you see a series of switches. These must control the entrance to the other transportation device. You flip the second and third switches and hear movement behind the house. You go to the back of the house, where there is a tree, and you see a faint light coming from behind the leaves. You enter the hidden room and decide to see where the transporter goes. The old town. It seems you have been transported to a town that was built many years ago. Exiting the room, you are scared almost to death as you are attacked by spiders. What is the world coming to, you ask yourself as your heart is beating out of your chest. As you approach the first building, you are greeted by a bookstore owner. He says he is willing to give you access to his store for the information you seek. Seeing as how you need some experience, you decide to explore the town. You see an odd-looking building disguised as a wall of grass and dirt. Continuing further, you see Marty Oswald's house and decide to take a look inside. You are nearly burned to death by a floating fire monster and think to yourself, phew, what a close one. I hope I can find that power source that is causing all of this paranormal activity before the whole world is consumed. Through all the commotion, you hear a faint explosion sound. As you head down the stairs, you realize it was a trap that blocked off the entrance to the next transportation device. There must be another way in. After leaving Marty's house, you continue around the corner to Stephen's house. It seems that Stephen has locked himself out of his house again and is willing to give you his items if someone can find a way in. You see there is a small opening above the door and decide to shoot an arrow through to re-trigger the locking mechanism. I might as well take what I can find. After leaving Stephen's house, you realize there is an outhouse nearby. Oddly enough, it requires a level 20 access. There must be something of great importance in there, like perhaps another transporter to get you out of this weird town and closer to revealing the truth. You decide to go to the left of the outhouse and around the corner. You find an abandoned mine shaft and decide to explore it. After weaving through the mineshaft tunnels and finding your way across the lava pit, you find a nice, hidden stash that must have been left by the previous miners. You exit the shaft by climbing the ladder and flipping the switch. All the exploring and adventuring has now gained you enough experience to enter the mysterious outhouse. Upon entering, you see that there is a hidden passage behind the toilet. You follow the passage. At last, another transporter. I must find out where it leads to. The power source. You have finally reached the area that houses the main power source for the ship. You need to get to the underground area in order to destroy the power source, but it requires an access level of 50. You begin to explore the area and find a room with some good armor and some night vision potions that would help you with all the darkness. In the next room, to the left, you find a set of pistons blocking the path to the power source generators. You continue to the next rooms and see some switches that may power down the pistons and allow you to access the generators. You are stunned when you realize there are more evil mobs that must be coming from the power source. You quickly flip the switch and run into the generator room. Ignoring the dangerous mobs, you quickly shut off all the generator switches. You now have the experience to enter the underground area that leads to the main power source. After entering the underground area, you see a guard that orders you to leave immediately. You decide not to let anyone or anything stand in your way, so you kill the guard and proceed to the next room. You see that the main power source is cooled by streams of water, so you glide down on the water stream to reach the power source safely. This is where it all ends, you say to yourself as you hesitantly flip the switch that increases the main power. It overloads, sending a massive explosion up to the power source, destroying it completely. Unfortunately, the ship is no longer able to maintain altitude and plummets to the ground, killing many. The sacrifice was necessary, you think to yourself as you climb the stairs to reach the exit. The end. As you climb the stairs to the exit, you are stopped by a guard and knocked unconscious. As you awaken, you find yourself in what looks to be a mental institution. The doctor explains to you that you have been suffering from years of paranoia. The effects of the paranoia have caused you to believe that there were many paranormal things going on around the ship and the different towns. You also are informed that the destroyed town was part of a relocation project, and nobody was able to get your brother. The ship you lived on was one of the safest places in the world, and you destroyed it because you thought its power source was somehow the cause of evil forces, and that evil men had built it to destroy the world. You collapse in disbelief, and wonder if this is all just a horrible nightmare. But reality sets in, and you soon realize that nothing will ever be the same again. So yeah, that was the first Paranoia. I apologize for any funky grammar or stuttering, because as many of you may have realized after watching a few of our videos, I am a little obsessed with writing and grammar. So my brain automatically tries to fix things, but I tried to read this as verbatim as possible since it wasn't my writing, and I wanted it to be told to you as the developer had intended it to be. Now, we do have part 2 that we've been working on, but we ran into again a problem with command blocks. But hopefully, when we go to play it again, we haven't finished, I will have updated the server in such a way that it will allow us to play together and play correctly instead of having to break all the rules. That's it for now. I'll see you next time.